Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Climate change heats up, as does local forest fires, growing support for debate on fluoride and more. The weather turned it on for the crowd of around 150 peaceful protesters who made their way from the beach in Tahunanui to walk their way around Rocks Road, ending with a crowd of around 350 by the time they arrived at their Anzac Park destination. This protest march was one of a global one to help voice concerns about the impending consequences of doing nothing before the beginning of the Climate Change Summit being held in Paris this week. The protesters were asking for stronger emission targets from world leaders. Prime Minister John Key is at the summit but has joined the US position of wanting a non-binding agreement on climate restrictions, which leaves the door wide open for countries to ignore any emissions restrictions. Nick Smith arrived at Anzac Park and spoke to the crowd.
Well, the big concern with climate change is both the increase in temperatures and the way that impacts right across the biological nature and the economy. So we've got crops like kiwi fruit, like apple, like hops, that depend on the temperature being in a particular range, and as a consequence of the sea level rise, it increases the risks of new diseases as well as the suitability of those crops for the region. The second issue is around sea level rise. Now, there's a bit more uncertainty around that. The estimates that I'm given as Minister for the Environment is somewhere between 0.3 of a metre and 0.9 of a metre over 100 years. Now, actually large parts of Nelson are quite low lying. As that sea level rises, that will increase the infrastructure costs, and most importantly, and the most significant impact, will be the frequency of major flood events where businesses and homes that would otherwise not be affected by a storm would be as a consequence of those sea levels being higher.
Scenes like this Marlborough forest fire could become all too common event, with climate change already showing signs of how dry, windy conditions, which have been hitting the region before summer officially starts, can make a situation a precarious one for potential life and property loss. New Zealand primary industries like forestry are under threat as climate change increases the risks of fire. Chrissy Small spoke with Tasman Rural Fire Chief Ian Reid last month about the potential for fire in such conditions.
Well, like you say, the winds elevate the risk considerably, especially in scrub fuels like gorse and fern and bracken. They have two effects. One is that they dry everything out, so they're drying the grass out at a faster rate than normal. And the other thing is, if a fire does start, then it'll be fanned by the wind, and it will spread a lot faster and potentially do more damage. People need to be reminded, if they start a fire like that in the rural environment, they are liable for the cost of putting it out and any damage that it does. And that's material damage. Think about the damage that you're doing to people's lives, livelihoods and families that fire could do.
Well, fire's a dangerous thing, we all know that, and people have lost their lives recently with the caravan fire just here locally.
Yeah.
How can people report an idiot?
111, just call 111, or and report the smoke or the activity either to the police or the fire service through Firecom, and we'll get to hear about it. The other thing that people can do coming into summer is to make sure, have a look around their property. If a wildfire was to come through from outside, it's usually embers landing on the property that'll burn it down. So, make sure the gutters are free of dried leaves and material. Anywhere on your deck that where embers can blow and gather, take care of that. Take away the needles from around the edge of the house and the burnable material. If you can, replace it with rock, and thin out your vegetation sort of away from the house so that a fire can't carry right up to your house.
Nelson City Council have just issued a notice of potential water restrictions for Nelson residents who take their water directly from streams and wells. Council estimates this affects about 500 households, and they will be kept up to date with the situation by mail. Monitoring is continuing, and in the absence of significant or sustained rain, restrictions will be necessary within the next 2 weeks. This will mean those taking water from wells and streams that breach trigger flows will be asked to take water only for the following purposes: The water you need for your home is drinking water for animals, firefighting as required. Affected residents will be asked to stop taking water for crop and garden irrigation should trigger flows be reached. If streams go to reach minimum flows, water may only be taken for firefighting purposes. It is important to note that the restrictions do not apply to those on the city's supply, and water levels in the Maitai Dam, Maitai and Roding rivers are currently adequate. However, all residents are encouraged to always use water wisely. 100 people turned out for a public meeting at the Stoke Community Centre on Saturday afternoon to get more information about the effects of adding fluoride to our water supply and what alternatives are being used by other countries. Meeting organiser Sarah Cooper spoke about the need for public consultation and both sides of the debate being heard so people are able to make an informed decision on the issue. Tracy, you were in the meeting, you heard what was being said. How do you feel about this fluoridation issue?
I feel basically that we've got no freedom of choice and that all of us people are individuals, we're all different. What goes into our body and our own personal health is all different and individual, and that for some of us, especially young children, babies, elderly, if we're taking medications, having dentistry and having water and fluoridated water, we're all getting overdosed or different doses, which are all basically causing effects in our body, and we've got no way or choice in changing that.
June Murray, you're at the meeting inside, you heard what was being said. What's your feelings on the matter?
Yeah, very interesting, and I think we need to individually speak up for what we believe in and make that choice. We should not have it foisted on us. Yes, and also we need to be able to speak to the send submissions into the health boards and Nelson Health Board, Nelson Marlborough Health Board, and also our MPs. And you know, bad things happen if good people don't stand up and do something. So it was very interesting, and I thank everyone today. And it's our children. Another thing, I do not know quite what is the best toothpaste to use for our children and for adults. But it is a very thought-provoking issue, and good on you all for bringing it to our notice.
Other speakers included Mary Byrne from Fluoride Free New Zealand and Dr Stan Littris, who has been an outspoken critic of the DHB push for fluoridation and has been described by Principal Dental Officer Dr Rob Beaglehole as an outlier in the dental profession. Dr Stan Littris, you've come all the way down from Wellington, you gave a talk today. What do you think about that? And also, what do you think about the DHB not showing up and putting anyone up there as well to give us a bit more information?
I was pleased with the turnout, and I think it was disappointing that the DHB, who's pushing for fluoridation in this area, didn't come out to the meeting to put their point of view across to the public who they wish to fluoridate.
You had lots of questions and answers there. Lots of people seem pretty interested and pretty informed. What do you think about that?
There's definitely a lot of concern out there, and people are getting more information, and they really need to have their concerns answered.
And have you been travelling around the country much, giving similar talks like the one you gave today?
A few. I went to Thames before their referendum, which they lost, in favour of continuing fluoridation, and I've done submissions to various city councils. I don't think that decision makers and the public are necessarily getting a balanced idea of the benefits and problems with fluoridation.
You pointed out to the Cochrane report this time, which is quite a new report come out. Are the people in charge taking that report into consideration?
It doesn't appear to. They seem to be going by the New Zealand review, which was done last year, which in my opinion wasn't conducted according to the normal guidelines for a robust review. The Cochrane review, however, was, and it came to different conclusions regarding the efficacy and risks of fluoridation, and that's the one that anyone who is really wanting to do the right thing should be taking account of.
As previously reported by Mainland TV, the Nelson Marlborough District Health Board has to date refused to enter into any public discussion or discuss concerns raised by opponents. Now they've organised their own public meeting. with their own speakers. I mean, I personally would like to see the DHB there to counter any things that are not facts. I mean, you need two sides of every story.
Yeah. We're well aware of that, yes, and we know that they've organised the meeting.
Yeah.
And as I said, in future there will be a statement.
But there won't be actually anyone from the DHB attending as DHB to counter any unfactual stuff that's being said, if it is being said.
I'm unable to confirm that at this stage.
Okay. Is there any chance that we can have a representative from DHB come on to Mainland and do an interview about this issue?
I don't think that will be possible in the short term. No.
To view the movie that was presented at the public meeting, please go to our Mainland Facebook page to find the link. Nelson is in a downturn, according to the ASB Bank's new main report out for September 2015 quarter. The report has shown that Nelson has had a drop of -4% in retail trade figures compared to the same time a year ago, against a national average of +5%, taking the city's 4-star rating down to 3, whereas Tasman has shown increased retail growth of 12%. The economic rating drop for Nelson is in large due to a slowdown in construction and drop in retail spending within the Nelson area, with employment growth dropping by -4.1% in the top of the south for the same period against a national average of +1.4%. Construction is down by -20% for Nelson, while Tasman is up by +20%, with the national average reaching +17%. Showing that things seem to be holding steady for the Tasman region, leaving Nelson now ranked 9th, equal with Tasman on the overall regional scoreboard within the 16 New Zealand regions. In many past reports on our economic progress, Nelson and Tasman usually get lumped together to produce overall figures. Chrissy Small spoke with former mayoral candidate Gary Watson about this latest report.
Gary, the new figures out from the ASB, it's not looking good for Nelson.
No, it hasn't been looking good for Nelson for quite some time, and as you know, Chrissy, when we've tried to get the figures that put Nelson and Tasman into their own separate categories to compare to see how it all looked, when we've asked the question, some of the authorities have gone into orbit. They've got real upset that we're even asking the question. So now that it's out there, this has been going on for a long, long time. It's not an easy fix. It can be fixed, but it's not an easy fix. And currently the council is, to a certain degree, sitting on its hands. It's done a few things, and I'll give them credit for that, but there are an awful lot of things that can be done that will help our future grow. And at the moment, the figures are not looking good. That's true.
Okay, so retailers out there obviously are hurting a bit here. What kind of things can council do? I mean, they've given everyone an hour's free parking in the central city. What else can they do?
Oh, lots and lots of things. There's lots of initiatives, and some of them they've touched on. But just for example, if you try and set up a business or expand a current business in Nelson, the council will put you through so much red tape that you just throw up your hands and say, look, this is just too hard. And that is not helping our local economy. In my view, the council is just too negative. When anyone wants to do something, they'll try and find all the reasons to stop it. And that hurts our economy. And that puts the locally owned and operated businessman in a difficult position. It's all right for the big stores. They'll come in here. Yes, they go through all the red tape and they hire their lawyers and accountants and all their professional consultants, and they just go through it. Okay. But for the small self-employed business with 2 or 3 people, there are a lot of hurdles there. And if the council can address those, and I notice that the government is amending the RMA, which is going to make it a little easier, there is still a lot of red tape and bureaucracy that is holding our economy back. It's like we're trying to drive the economy forward with the handbrake on.
It's a little bit tricky for Nelson in the fact that there's not a lot of room to expand. We've kind of run out of space. Whereas Tasman, obviously, there's a lot more space to be had, and which is why they seem to be going through a growth spurt, up 20% in construction, whereas Nelson's down 20%.
We still have the area to do it. It's what we are doing in the area that we have. And it's really a case of that being the case between a rock and a hard place, i.e. the mountains and the sea. We therefore have to do things even more smarter to develop our local economy better. And there's lots of positive things that are going on here, but there are a few that are dragging us down that need to be addressed.
An elderly man has died as a result of a collision between a light van and a cyclist on Tahunanui Drive around 8:30 a.m. Saturday morning. Police are appealing for witnesses to the crash. The cyclist and the van were both heading north near Green Street in Tahunanui when the collision occurred. The 76-year-old cyclist was taken to hospital where he later died. A serious crash investigation is underway and police would like to speak to anyone who was in the area at the time or who may have witnessed the crash. Anyone with any information should call Nelson Police. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
Welcome me hearties to Smuggler's Pub and Cafe, famous for hearty meals, craft ales and a friendly service way. Sensational seasonal menus with meals all day and evening too, or sail in for a snack with special menus for young smugglers and you. Settle in for a jolly old time, relax and enjoy our award-winning dining and lovely fine wine. Decked out in an old worldly way, we're open 7 days. Book or come on in to 8 Muritai Street, not far from a beach, walk or swim. Phone 546408.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Are you looking for a scooter, walker, wheelchair, baby seats or pushchairs? Then come in and see the Nelson Region Specialist at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library. We have a huge selection of scooters, walkers, wheelchairs and accessories, along with a free booklet guide. We also provide a breakdown service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. We have fully equipped service vans to rescue you. Hi, I'm Robin Jordan and I invite you to call in and see the friendly team at Mobility for You, 269 Queen Street, Richmond, opposite the library.
We're the team at J-Car, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables and much, much more. J-Car.
120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
G'day, it's your old mate the Mad Butcher, and you're watching Mainland TV.
Are you tired of endless reality shows? Would you prefer to watch captivating documentaries?
They have swallowed cars.
Exciting movies?
Go ahead, load up and shoot.
Music for the soul?
And if you think I'd ate your fish and chips, I did, you're mistaken.
Programming from around the world? Places to visit? Local news and views?
I'm Graham O'Brien, and today's bulletin. Do you want to change the flag?
No, I don't want to change the flag.
Stay tuned to Mainland TV, your local station.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
Edward Gibbon, the bathroom specialists, have a great range of bathroom ideas at their showroom at 23 McGlashan Ave in Richmond. Call in and check out some of the latest bathroom designs and fittings. Edward Gibbon, the bathroom plumbing and drainage supply specialists, 23 McGlashan Ave, Richmond.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics, toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
Hi, I'm John Crouch. I'm Craker Crouch Construction. We're general contractors here. We specialise in drainage, earthworks, concrete, gravel supplies. We have our own mobile crushers. So for all your contract requirements, call us on 5783 475 Blenheim or in 5736 119 Picton.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Hi, I'm Graham from Classic Gates Engineering. We specialise in all sorts of engineering, classic gates, balustrades, pool fences, do structural engineering, house lots of structural steel work, swimming pool fences. We also do firebox repairs, garden furniture, archways, etc. So for powder coating, sandblasting, all sorts of paintwork, call in to see us, 6 Nelson Street, Blenheim, Classic Gates Engineering.
From Cresswell's on Market Street, we've fitted footwear for all seasons, all reasons. For summer times in the sounds, for solid support on the sidelines, for social events around town, for good times round the grapevines. That's why at Cresswell's we believe in fitting footwear correctly, so you get the best out of quality shoes and sandals and can then get the best out of life.
Cresswell Special Service, it's unique, helping keep Marlborough on its feet for over 60 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Malcolm Harris from The Facilitators. We now look after sales for Mainland TV, radio, Sky and online. New Zealand On Air's latest Colmar Brunton survey confirms Mainland's large multimedia audience. If you're in business or want to put a message out to everyone in the Nelson Tasman region, plus nationwide on Sky or worldwide online, please give me a call or see our website at www.mainlandtv.nz.
Waimea Telecommunications, specializing in free-to-air digital television, internet broadband connections, telephone and telecommunications systems. Call Julian Toon at Waimea Telecommunications on 544-4203.
This is a beautiful 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. It's a large internal access double garage. It fits 2 cars nicely with a little workshop bench at the end of it. In this room we have 2 large lazy boys, a 3-seater and a 2-seater leather lounge suite, 50-inch Samsung TV and a heat pump. Features are a cathedral ceiling and of course that beautiful view.
For relatively little cost, you too can sell your house. Do it yourself. You're the best person to promote and sell your own house. Your personal endorsement is the best selling proposition. Put yourself on screen and sell it. You know the attractions of your house. You know it better than anybody else. So, get up there and tell us all about it. Sell it.
Upstairs we have 3 bedrooms. One of these has a full ensuite, that's the master bedroom, with large bifold doors. Now out these bifold doors you get to a wraparound deck area that faces northwest, and this is lovely in the morning for sitting and having your coffee.
Hawk Films is now producing for you an advertising package and a broadcasting service at a price far lower than you would expect. We will produce your advertising video and feature it across TV, radio and electronic media. Your message will be up to 3 minutes long and it'll be broadcast 5 times a day on radio and TV. 5 times a day. And it will be listed online all day, every day, for exposure to your potential buyers. You can also use the ad and the photos to promote your house on radio, TV, Trade Me and other real estate sites. We can also offer drone aerial shots for a totally different viewpoint from the one you would normally see. Selling your house is up to you and your solicitor. We're here to merely add value to your advertising strategy. Give me a call and let's get your property on the market. Or better still, email or text me and I'll call you back.